Hello everyone, Namaste and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing a 30-minute full body yoga flow. So let's begin by sitting on our mats in a comfortable position, raising the hands up over the head, interlocking the fingers and stretching from side to side, bending over to the other side just to release any tension along the upper arms and the waistline. Do this a couple of more times and then we'll get started by doing the first pose of class today, which will be a cat pose. So when you're ready, come onto all fours, making sure to keep your spine neutral, your hands placed beneath your shoulders and knees beneath the hips, looking up slightly, and then we're going to begin by rounding the shoulders as we breathe out, tucking the chin to the chest. Breathing in, look up, allow your pelvis to tilt up towards the ceiling slightly as you breathe in. Let's do that 6 times in total, just taking time here to close the eyes, maybe releasing the tension between the shoulder blades, really rounding out your shoulders and releasing your lower spine. Feel free to take a little pause in your pose just to feel that deep stretch, breathing naturally here. On your last round, when you round out your back, tuck your toes underneath and come into a mountain pose by pushing your knees off the floor, allowing your feet to go flat against your mat. Stay here for a couple of seconds, pedaling out your feet from the heel to the toe, really stretching out the back of your hamstrings and your calf muscles. Breathe naturally, and now allow yourself to just remain in mountain pose, holding here for just a few seconds before you ripple your spine forward, coming into a plank and gently pushing yourself back into a mountain. So doing that dynamically from the mountain position, rippling your spine forward into a plank, looking forward, maybe bending your knees before you push back into the mountain, just so that it's a little bit easier on your arms. Let's try that a couple more times, really breathing into this position, breathing in as you go to your plank and breathing out as you come into that mountain. Allow your body and your spine to really flow with the breath between these two positions, really allowing your spine to become fluid through this motion. If you're feeling out of breath or you'd like to take a moment to stop, then please feel free to do that. This will be our last round before we come down into a Shashankasana. So come down onto all fours and allow your hips to fall back onto the heels of your feet, allowing your elbows to come down to the floor and maybe propping your forehead over the tops of your forearms. Stay here or take your hands behind you, allowing your arms to fall sideways if that's a comfortable position, and allow your breathing to come back to normal, closing your eyes and feeling the breath in your spine. We're going to now come on to the front side of the body, so go ahead and stretch out your arms in front of you and allow your stomach to come down onto the floor, stretching out your feet onto the length of your mat. Keeping your palms underneath your shoulders with your elbows pointing behind you, separating your feet to mat width, and as you breathe in, push up into a cobra pose, making sure to keep your elbows bent. As you breathe out, twist to your left side, looking over your left shoulder at your left heel. Breathing in, come to the center, and breathing out, twist over to the right side. When you're done, come back down, and we're going to repeat that pose a couple of more times. Breathing in as you go up, breathe out, twist to the left, breathe in, center, and breathing out, twist to the right, Breathe in center and breathe out as you come down. Remember to keep your elbows bent so that when you twist over to the left side, your right elbow can move outward, allowing there to be a nice twist in your lower torso. When you come down this time, allow your hands to go by the sides of your body and tilt your head so that your right cheek can lay flat on the floor. Remaining here just for a couple of moments. Maybe take note of how your spine is feeling after that twisting cobra pose. Your breath is dominant in your lower back once again. Keeping your eyes closed, notice the lower back rise with inhalation and fall with exhalation. Bring your chin back onto the mat now, and we're going to lift each side of your hips so that you can place your hands underneath your body with your palms facing down, making sure to really stretch out your legs and keep them close together with your heels touching, lifting your left leg as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring it down. Continuing with your left side, breathing in as you go up, breathing out as you come down, trying to keep that leg super straight. Let's do that 3 more times on the left side. On your last round, you can try to prop your left leg up by bending your right knee and placing it underneath the knee of the left leg. So let your left leg go up, bend your right knee so that your foot can hold your left leg by placing the foot just beneath the left knee, close to the upper thigh. You can always just hold your left leg up for a couple of seconds before you come down if your right leg cannot support your left. Okay, coming down now, let's move on to the right side. So adjust yourself in this position, make your legs super straight, keeping your heels close together. Breathing in as you lift your right leg up with your knees straight. Breathing out as you come down. This is Shalabhasana. Let's do this 4 more times, really working on the strength of your lower back by keeping your shoulders super active in this position, using the strength in your legs and your lower back to really lift your leg straight up without bending the knees. Remember, on your last round, you can prop your right leg up by bending the left knee and placing your foot just below your right knee to hold the weight of your leg. Breathing naturally here. If you're uncomfortable doing that, remember to just hold in the position without using your left leg. Now release your hands from underneath you and let's come into a relaxation pose. Coming into a child sleeping pose, bending the left knee and the left elbow, interlocking your hands together, placing your right cheek over top of your interlocked fingers, closing your eyes, pointing your feet to the left side. Notice here that your left side of the waist is slightly contracted while the right side of your waist is elongated and you can feel the breath in your lower back. This is a great way to relax and relieve any tension along the sides of the waist and the lower back. Keeping your eyes closed, flip over to the other side now, bending your right knee and your right elbow, turning your head to the left side, resting your left cheek on top of your interlocked palms. This time your right waistline is contracted and your left waistline is slightly in tension. So just notice the differences here as we balance them out, practicing child sleeping pose on either side. When you've finished approximately 10 breaths on each side, Prop yourself up again along your right waist. We're going to do a little bit more work for the waistline along the sides of the body. So allow yourself to roll over onto your right hip, propping your head up using your right arm, bending your elbows, and maybe supporting your body with your left hand in front of the chest. Think about your left leg now, raising your left leg as high as you can as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, you're going to bring that leg back down to meet your right. Taking this at your own pace, breathing in as you go up, really point your toes towards the head and breathing out as you come down. We'll do that a total of 10 times, really breathing with each pose and using your left hand to support yourself and balance out the movement in your legs. Breathing in, go as high as you can, possibly coming up to a 90-degree angle, and breathing out as you come down. We'll now do that super dynamically by just raising the leg up and down, breathing normally, and we're going to do that 10 times once again, really getting into the sides of our waist here. So take your leg up and down 10 times as quick as you can without hurting yourself, and on your last round, allow your leg to remain as straight as possible, and if you have the flexibility to do so, you can grab your calf with your left hand and pull that leg close to the top of your head. Remember that this depends on your level of flexibility, and it's super important to stay comfortable in this position. So raise your leg as high and as straight as you can, remembering to point the toes so that you can keep that left leg super active. Hold in this position for a couple of breaths and then let go of your left leg. Push yourself up now and we'll come into the other side. So maybe turn on your mat and prop yourself up on your left hip this time, keeping your body in one straight line, allowing your right hand to support you in front of the chest and holding your head with your left hand. Thinking of the right leg now, breathing in, raise that right leg up super straight as high as you can, and breathing out as you come down in a controlled manner. We'll do that 10 times, so go at your own pace, breathing in as you go up, breathing out as you come down, remembering to point those toes towards the head so that you can keep that right leg active, and also make sure to keep your left leg super straight on the floor. This will help you support the side of your waist, really getting into that waistline. And once you're done with your 10 rounds, remember to do that dynamically, taking your leg up and down as fast as you can, as safely as you can, and breathing naturally here. On your last round, you'll hold your leg as high as you possibly can, maybe at 90 degrees, or if you have the flexibility to do so, let your right hand go to the back of your right calf, pulling that right leg close to the top of your head, keeping your left leg active. We're almost in the position of a split here. Maybe you want to hook your right big toe, pulling your right leg close to the head. This side is harder for me to do than the left side, and it requires a little bit more balance and caution. So remember to take note of that for yourself as well. Okay, let yourself come onto your stomach, push yourself up. We'll now come into a Vajrasana at the back of our mats. Maybe you want to adjust your hair like I did. Straighten your arms out in front of you, and we'll just use one hand to push the other downward so that we can stretch out the wrists one by one and the tops of the forearms as well before we get into the next sequence. So just use your hands, push your palms down, allowing your palm to face the body, stretching out your wrist one by one. Let's also come into a quick wrist rotation. So place the inside of your wrists together, keeping them in contact, and move out your wrists in one direction 5 times approximately, and 5 times in the other direction as well, just to have a quick relief for your wrists. When you're done, you're going to come back into a four-legged position. So move forward, placing your hands beneath the shoulders, tuck your toes under, and we're going to push into a mountain pose. Allow your heels to come as close as they can to the floor, maybe separating your feet to hip width here. Look between your hands and starting off with the left leg, take your left foot off the floor, bringing it to the outside corner of your mat, outside your left hand. We're going to work on really stretching out the hips, resting the right knee, and flattening out the right foot. We're going to twist over to the left side by lifting the left hand up towards the ceiling, creating one straight line between your arms, chest, and the right hand placed on the floor. Now bend your right knee if you can and grab hold of your toes with your left hand, allowing there to be a nice stretch on the tops of your right thigh. Come back down with your hands now to the front position, and we're going to come onto the left outer edge of the foot, really allowing the knee to bend sideways and maybe looking over your left shoulder. For a deeper stretch, you can bring your forearms onto the floor, coming into this dolphin position and swaying from left to right with your hips, really giving the outer glute muscles a nice stretch. Come back onto your hands now, straighten out your back leg and push yourself back into a mountain. Stretch out your legs if you need to by pedaling out your feet, and we're going to use the right leg this time, looking between the hands and taking the right foot off the floor, placing it on the outer edge of your mat alongside your right hand. Twist open, take your right hand up to the ceiling, look up for a quick twist in the spine. And then bend your left knee so that you can hold your left toes, maybe pulling the leg close to the spine to feel a deeper stretch in the upper left thigh. Let go of your left leg, come back down, this time opening up on the right hip by coming onto the outside edge of your right foot, maybe swing from side to side with your hips to feel a deeper stretch, or coming down onto your forearms into a dolphin position and swaying from side to side, releasing any tension along your glute muscles. Okay, come back onto your right foot now and push yourself back into a mountain. Let's take a quick break, coming down onto your knees, coming into a lizard position so that we can stretch out the upper back. So move your hands to the top edge of your mat, keep your knees at hip width, and push your chest down towards the floor so that you can bring your forehead onto the mat, making sure to rest the elbows here. Maybe push your shoulder blades together a little bit more, stretching out your chest and feeling a deep release for your upper back. If you would like to try a deeper stretch, allow your forearms to come together, holding on to the opposite arm, and push yourself down towards the mat so that your chest and chin can rest on the floor, feeling a deep release for your upper back and really opening up your chest. Breathe naturally here. Remember to stay here for as long as you'd like, making sure to keep your knees apart just to give yourself a little bit more stability. When you want to come out of the position, ripple your spine forward and come onto your stomach first. Then push yourself up into a cobra and coming into a mountain once again. We're going to do a little bit more work from this mountain position, stretching out the backs of our legs this time. From here, once again, starting off with the left leg, allow your left leg to come between your hands this time, flattening out the right foot, pushing your knee forward so that your hips can come closer to the ground, keeping your hands by your sides, maybe looking up if that feels comfortable for you. For For a deeper stretch, allow your hands to come to the backs of your hips and allow your hands to really push your hips forward and close to the floor, maybe stretching up a little bit more this time with your head, keeping your eyes open. From here, bring your hands back to the floor this time and walk your fingertips slightly ahead of your left toes. Then push your left leg back so that you can straighten out that left knee, pointing the toes up to the ceiling. Push back for a quick release before you come back into this half split position or Hanumanasana. So let's do that dynamically a couple of times, pushing back into a Hanumanasana and coming forward onto the feet. When you're comfortable coming into that half split position, hold here, maybe looking forward, trying to bring your chin close to your left knee. Stay here for between 5 to 10 counts. When you're ready, push forward onto your left foot once again. Now we're going to heel toe the foot to the right hip so that you can allow the outside of your left leg to lie flat on the mat, coming into a pigeon pose. So really keep your left foot active by keeping your foot bent. Allowing your foot to be flexed here will allow your hips to remain square to the floor, making sure to keep your right knee on the floor and your right foot flat. Stay here if you'd like, keeping your hands by your hips, or for a deeper stretch in your left outer thigh and glutes, walk your hands forward, allowing your elbows to come down to the floor. Maybe you'd want to prop your forehead on top of your arms, placing your forearms one on top of each other just to give a little bit more height here, relaxing in pigeon pose, keeping the eyes closed and noticing that deep stretch for the outer glutes. When you're ready, push yourself up and back into a mountain, maybe pedaling out those feet or coming into a quick Vajrasana if you need to. Okay, let's bring that right foot between the hands this time, placing the left knee on the floor and the left foot flat. Look up slightly, trying to push your hips closer to the ground. From here, for a deeper stretch, take your hands behind your hips and really use your arms to push the hips forward a little bit more, bringing the hip closer to the floor and stretching your neck up, looking at the ceiling, keeping your eyes open. Look forward to release and bring your hands down by the sides of your feet, walking your fingertips ahead of the right toes and pushing back into that Hanumanasana or half split position, looking forward so that you can keep your balance. Let's do that dynamically. Push forward and then push back to straighten out that right knee, allowing your right toes to point up to the ceiling. For a deeper stretch, you can either move your fingers a little bit further down so that it's closer to the top edge of your mat, or if you'd like, bring your head down towards the right knee, holding here for a couple of seconds just to feel that deep stretch for the right hamstrings and calf muscles. Release by bending the right knee, coming onto the right foot once again. This time, heel toe your foot to the left edge of your mat so that you can place your right outer thigh onto the floor, coming into a pigeon pose, keeping that right foot flexed so that you can really stay active through that leg. Stretch up and backward, placing your hands along the sides of the hips, or for a deeper stretch, walk out your hands in front of you, allowing your elbows to come down onto the floor and placing your forehead down on the mat, closing your eyes. If you want a little bit of an easier version, then you can stack your forearms on top of each other and place your forehead on top of your stacked arms. Remember to stay active through that right leg, continuing to point it and flex that right toe, and breathing here to feel the stretch in your right hip flexors and your right glutes. Okay, push yourself up now back into a mountain. Before you come down onto your knees, we're going to stretch the upper body once again. So, really open up your knees along the sides of your mat, creating gap so that your stomach can come closer to the ground, coming into a Shashankasan, placing your hands out in front of you, resting your head and your elbows on the floor, really allowing your hip flexors to relax here. Come back up now and bring your knees close to each other once again, and we'll come into a bit of an ab series to finish off today's workout. So we've targeted almost all the parts of the body, coming into the ab for the final part of this class. So lie down on your back, keeping your hands by your sides, bringing your feet together so that the sides of your feet are touching. From here, we're going to keep the spine super active and going to bend the left knee so that you can hold the top of your left shin with both your hands, interlocking the fingers and pulling your left knee close to the chest as you breathe out. Straighten out your left leg. This time, right leg comes up, breathing in, and as you breathe out, interlock your fingers over your shin, pulling that right leg onto your chest. Breathe in and out as you straighten out the right leg. Let's do that a few more times on either side. Really use this time to pull that leg close to your abdomen, allowing there to be a nice massage for your internal organs. Maybe you'd like to take your head up so that your forehead or nose can meet the top of your knee as you hold in this position for just 2 seconds before you release. Make sure your other leg on the floor remains active. Now let's come into a quick twist for the abdomen. So bend your knees, take your hands behind the head and interlock your fingers, allowing your elbows to rest on the floor. Take your legs off the floor, bending the knees, and twist your legs to one side as you twist your head to the other. Breathing out as you twist over, breathing in as you come to the center, breathing out as you twist to the other side. Twisting on each side makes one round, so let's do that around 5 times on either side. Really feel that twist in your abdominal muscles and along the sides of your waist. Maybe you'd like to hold in your final round just on each side for between 5 to 10 counts, counting this mentally. Once you're done with your holds on either side, come to the center and straighten out your legs once again on the mat, placing your hands by the sides of the body. Placing the feet close together so that you can feel the toes touch, and placing your hands by the sides. We're going to contract the entire body by coming into a boat pose. So breathing in, contract, lift your head, chest, shoulders and both your legs up to a 30-degree position. Breathing out as you release. Breathe in, hands, feet, shoulder and head go off the floor. Breathe out, release. Breathing in, come up, really use your core strength to hold this position and stabilize the body. Breathing out as you come down. This time when you go up, take your legs just a little bit more off the floor, coming to a 45-degree angle. Breathing out, come down. Breathing in, contract, raise up, hold, hold, hold. Breathing out as you come down. Let's do that one more time. So really prepare yourself, breathe in, contract, hold, and breathe out, come down. Okay, now let's bend the knees so that you can bring the back of your heels close to the back of your thighs. We're going to hold the ankles with each hand and we're going to stretch out that abdominal muscle by pushing the hips up off the floor, keeping the shoulders on the floor and maybe bringing them slightly closer together, coming into a Khandarasana. Allow your chest to come close to your chin so that your chin and chest are in contact as you come up. Breathing in, really using the strength of your upper legs and your pelvis here to lift up. Breathing in and breathing out as you come down. Let's do that a couple of more times. Go up. Remember to bring the chest close to the chin. Breathing out as you come down. On this last round, we're going to hold in this position. So really push your pelvis up towards the ceiling, trying to bring your thighs parallel to the floor. And if you're feeling comfortable, take your hands off your ankles and allowing your hips to be propped up with your palms. So bend your elbows and bring your palms beneath your hips, really using your legs to push yourself up to create this gap in the spine so that you can rest your hips on your palms. Close your eyes here, feeling a nice stretch for your lower abdominals, really opening up your chest and using your pelvis and the strength of your pelvis here to hold this position. When you want to come down, let go of your hips and bring your hands along the sides of your waist here, allowing your hips to come back onto the floor. Let's quickly massage the length of our spine by coming into a rocking position. So really use some momentum here. Sit up, allow yourself to fall back onto your back, rocking the length of your spine. From here, we're going to come into a quick butterfly position to release any tension in the hips. So allow the soles of your feet to come together close to your hips and flop your legs to the side. Bring your hands down in front of your toes, keeping the spine straight, and bounce your knees up and down a couple of times. This will help to release any tension in the inner hip flexors and along the inner thighs as well. This is going to be the last pose for today's class. I hope you enjoyed this 30-minute full body yoga flow and you're feeling energized. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like down below and let me know how you're feeling in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future, and maybe share this video with a friend or family member you think may find it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.